Hi everyone. So in our last lecture we discussed about @test instance annotation and we discussed about lifecycle per class mode. So in this lecture we will discuss about @before all and @after all annotated methods, and we'll see that how they behave when the mode of test instance is lifecycle per class. So friends, first we will discuss about @before all annotation, and we'll see that how it behaves differently when the test instance mode is lifecycle per class. So friends, here you can see that one major difference is that now @before all annotated methods are non-static, as they are now instance methods. One major difference is that it is called after instance of test class is created. So friends, in our last lecture we discussed that when we use @test instance lifecycle per class mode, then JUnit creates a new instance of test class only once. So after the new instance of test class is created, then the framework calls @before all method. And one thing remains the same, is that it is only called once throughout the test lifecycle. So friend, @before all annotated methods, as they are called only once throughout the test lifecycle, they are basically used for initializing the expensive resources such as database connection, starting a server, which later on used inside our test cases. So friend, let's say in our test class we have multiple test methods which basically deals with these expensive resources. So instead of creating these expensive resources in each and every test method, what we do is we simply initialize it once throughout the test class lifecycle, and later we can use it in our @test methods. So friends, now let's discuss about @after all annotated methods and lifecycle per class mode. So it is very similar to @before all, that this annotation is now not static, but it is a part of test class instance. So @after all annotated methods gets called at the very end of all @test and other lifecycle methods, and also it is called only once throughout the test lifecycle. And friend, inside @after all annotated methods, what we do is we simply clean up the expensive resources such as the database connections and stopping a server, which we might have initialized in @before all annotated methods. So here @before all usually initialize these expensive resources, and @after all cleans up those resources. So friends, in this lecture we discussed about that how @before all and how @after all behaves differently when the lifecycle mode is changed to per class. I hope you like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.